Hi, y'all. Well, hi, Susan. I figured you'd be listening to Jim Bob right now. Oh, but gosh, it's great to have you on my Periscope, too. You can go back and forth. And he's so long-winded, you could listen to my Periscope and then go back and he'll still be talking. Oh, thanks, y'all. I am having a great day. Jim Babu, that is hilarious. I hope he watches this replay. That would be fun. That would be fun. Okay, guys, so love gives, or is it the other way around? Thanks, Susan, for doing that. There's my website for past Periscopes when I get them up there. Or do we give first and then love? Okay, think about this. In order for, I love Bob Goff, Love Does. I love his book, Love Does. Does what? It gives. It is so selfless. The opposite of love is selfishness and greed, right? So we can't have love and be selfish simultaneously, which is a little bit complicated. But think about giving first. If we give first, and then think about the wedding. Okay, the bride is given away. So the parents are giving to the bride, okay? And then the groom is giving himself to the bride is giving herself to the groom. This is what the vows are about. It's literally laying down your life. Well, if we realize that our life is not our own anyway, if we've already given our life to Jesus Christ, and we already have learned the key to surrender, then it's easier to love because we know what it means to be selfless. So that's the benefit of knowing Jesus first before you get married. I do a lot of premarital counseling, and we're in wedding season right now, so this is something I'm trying to impart to people, but it is so easy for people to understand that love is selfless. It's much easier said than done, right? But there are certain attitudes that we have to have in our heart to be able to give and receive love correctly. And it's important that we think about these attitudes, that we can literally wrap our head around what it means to really lay down your life for a brother, or lay down your life for a friend, or lay down your life for a spouse. But that attitude of giving, that attitude of generosity, that is love. That's what love does. That's love. Love does that. So people often think that love and hate are the opposites, but really they're two sides of the same coin. But love and selfishness are the opposites. You can't do both of those at the same time. But selfishness will attack before you give. You'll start thinking about, wait a minute. That's too much. What am I getting? I don't want to just think about giving. What am I getting? And then right after you give, you know what attacks? Grief and fear, like, oh my gosh, what have I done? I've made vows till death do us part. Oh my gosh, what have I done here? And then you start to get this sense of help, and then you feel like you're in this grieving process of letting go. And that's the way that it is no matter what you share. If you're sharing your love or you're sharing your life, any sort of sharing, it's like, wait, if I share, that I have less, right? But actually, it's the opposite. As you share, you're going to see things multiply, and you really have a lot more. Well, how we were talking about earlier, Susan, the beautiful scripture, 2 Timothy 1:17, and of course you have it memorized, and I do too. God has not given me a spirit of fear, but of power and love and a sound mind. And what you see happen often is people, and you'll even see people before they get married, get those cold feet. There's fear. They get afraid. What are they afraid of? They're afraid of giving, truly. They're afraid of letting go and giving themselves completely. Okay, so they're afraid of this selfless giving. They're afraid of over-giving. They're afraid of over-loving. They're afraid. And so when you get so afraid, the sad thing is it makes you so afraid that you can't give and receive love correctly. And in fact, you'll end up having so much anxiety just about your relationships because you don't know how to give. It does. It kills you. It kills relationships. It kills all that. But you'll end up seeing that as we give back to God and as God gives back to us, then we can give to others. And that's where that love really comes from. So first of all, we got to deal with that selfish heart. Then we have to deal with the grieving heart. Just the grief of letting go, the grief that, hey, I'm not my own, the grief of, hey, this is a sacrificial life. And then you're kind of going to grieve that a little bit, okay? But then you want to give out of a generous heart, like I talked about yesterday, where you end up having this attitude of generosity and you're not holding back. So not only are you going to give all yourself, but then you're going to give more. And you're going to even give when you don't feel like it. And then you're going to turn the other cheek. And then you're going to even give them, you know, they take your coat and you're going to give them another one. Then you're going to go the extra mile. Then you're going to do the also. And, you know, this is just an attitude of giving. And this is awesome because this is really what produces the love that we all need. That's great. That's great feedback there, Susan. You're absolutely right. So give out of a generous heart. And you know what? Give out of a grateful heart. When you're grateful about the things you have to give, when you're grateful about your own life, when you're grateful about the relationships that you have, you're grateful for your business, you're grateful for your clients and your customers, you're grateful for your family, you're grateful for your friends, you're grateful for your mothers, you're grateful for your children. You know, when you have an attitude of gratitude, then it is so much easier to give. And also, it's maturity that causes us to give, right? And what are we trying to teach our little kids? Share, share, share. It's a constant thing. But when we have an attitude of sharing, right, and caring for others and this sort of lifestyle of giving, that's where we can give and receive love. Love can't happen unless you know how to give first. Giving is what brings life. As mothers, we understand this. We give birth, and as we give birth through a process of work and effort and labor and maybe a little pain, we go through this process of giving, and then that brings life. And in that life, boy, we understand what it's going to be to sacrifice, and it's so worth it. It is so worth it. So God bless you guys today. I hope that you got something that you can apply to your own life, and we'll just keep exploring life together. Thanks for being part of my Periscope community. God bless you guys. Have a great day. Bye-bye.